Welcome to Audiobook segment. Every story you'll hear is crafted from the ground up, written, produced, and narrated entirely by us. Nothing recycled, nothing repurposed, just original work made for this channel. So grab your headphones, settle in, and enjoy today's audiobook. Welcome to Stop Negative Thoughts Forever, the audiobook that will help you take control of your mind and transform the way you think. If you've ever felt trapped by worry, doubt, or self-criticism, this audiobook is for you. Before we start, make sure you're ready to listen with focus. If you enjoy this content, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an audiobook that can change your life. Now, take a deep breath and get comfortable. What you're about to learn isn't just theory. It's practical, step-by-step guidance to help you stop negative thoughts in their tracks and replace them with clarity, calm, and confidence. Negative thoughts have a way of sneaking in, shaping your mood, and influencing your actions. They can hold you back from achieving your goals and enjoying life fully. But the good news is, you have the power to stop them, and you can start today. This audiobook is your quick fix, but it's also your guide to long-term mental freedom. By following these chapters, you'll discover simple techniques to interrupt negativity, reframe your thoughts, and train your brain to focus on what matters. Get ready to take control, stay present, and begin the journey to a mindset where negative thoughts no longer have power over you. Chapter 1. Understanding your negative thoughts. The first step to stopping negative thoughts is understanding what they are and how they work. Negative thoughts are automatic, recurring ideas that focus on problems, doubts, or fears. They often sneak in without warning and shape your emotions before you even realize it. Understanding these thoughts is essential because you cannot stop what you do not recognize. Many people believe that negative thoughts just happen to them and they feel powerless to change. But in reality, these thoughts are patterns created in your mind over time. Each time you focus on worry, criticism, or fear, you strengthen these neural pathways, making it easier for negativity to appear in the future. The good news is that the same principle works in reverse. By creating new positive patterns, you can weaken negative ones and take control of your thinking. Start by observing your mind. Pay attention to moments when you feel stressed, anxious, or upset. Notice the thoughts that arise. Are they critical of yourself? Do they exaggerate problems? Do they anticipate worst-case scenarios? Awareness is the first layer of defense. You cannot change your thoughts if you are unaware of them. Next, understand the triggers. Negative thoughts often arise in response to certain situations, people, or even internal memories. Recognizing these triggers helps you prepare and respond effectively. For example, if a stressful task triggers self-doubt, knowing this in advance allows you to pause, breathe, and approach it with calm focus, rather than letting automatic negative thoughts take over. Visualization is a helpful technique. Imagine a negative thought entering your mind, like a small cloud. Observe it without reacting, then picture it dissolving or floating away. Visual rehearsal trains your brain to notice negativity and release it without engaging, which is essential for long-term change. Affirmations strengthen this process. Simple statements such as "I control my thoughts," "Negativity does not define me," or "I choose positive, constructive thinking" signal to your subconscious mind that you are shifting mental habits. Repetition is key. Affirmations embed this mindset into your daily thinking. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role. By staying present and observing your thoughts without judgment, you prevent yourself from getting caught in spirals of worry or self-criticism. Notice the thought, acknowledge it, and let it pass. Mindfulness creates mental space, giving you the ability to choose how to respond. Physical awareness supports mental clarity. Negative thoughts often trigger tension in the body, tight shoulders, shallow breathing, or a racing heartbeat. By consciously relaxing muscles, taking deep breaths, and grounding yourself, you reduce the intensity of the thoughts and make them easier to manage. Journaling can reinforce understanding. Write down recurring negative thoughts, what triggered them, and how they made you feel. Reflect on whether these thoughts are accurate, helpful, or productive. This practice increases self-awareness and provides insight into patterns that need to change. Consistency is essential. Observing, understanding, and recording negative thoughts may feel slow at first, but every small step strengthens your ability to catch negativity before it takes control. Over time, you become adept at recognizing negative thinking instantly and redirecting your mind toward constructive, empowering thoughts. Self-compassion is critical. Understand that everyone experiences negative thoughts. Feeling frustrated with yourself for having them only adds more negativity. Treat yourself kindly, acknowledge the challenge, and guide your mind gently toward calm, positive thinking. By understanding negative thoughts, how they arise, what triggers them, and how they influence your emotions, you create the foundation for stopping them. Awareness, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, physical relaxation, journaling, and self-compassion form the toolkit for taking control of your mind. This is the first step in transforming your thinking. Once you understand your negative thoughts, you can begin the journey to replacing them with positive, constructive, and empowering mental patterns. This chapter lays the groundwork for the practical techniques that will follow, giving you the confidence to reclaim your mind and stop negative thoughts forever. Chapter 2. Identifying the root causes of negative thoughts. Stopping negative thoughts requires more than noticing them. It requires understanding why they happen. Every negative thought has a root cause. It might stem from fear, past experiences, self-doubt, or unrealistic expectations. By identifying these root causes, you gain power over your mind and start breaking the patterns that produce negativity. Many people react to negative thoughts without thinking about their origin. They fight them as they appear, using willpower alone. While temporary suppression might work briefly, the underlying cause remains, and negativity quickly returns. Identifying the source allows for long-lasting change. Start by examining your life experiences. Past failures, criticisms, or disappointments often plant seeds of negativity in your mind. For example, if you were criticized for speaking in public as a child, your mind might automatically generate self-doubt in similar situations years later. Recognizing the connection between past experiences and present thoughts helps you understand that these thoughts are not reality. They are patterns shaped by history. Fear is another major root cause. Fear of failure, judgment, or uncertainty often fuels negative thinking. When your mind anticipates worst-case scenarios, it reacts with doubt and worry. Identifying fear as the underlying cause allows you to address it directly, replacing panic with calm analysis. Self-doubt and low self-esteem are powerful contributors to negativity. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough, I'll fail," or "I can't do this," arise from internalized beliefs rather than facts. By recognizing that self-doubt is the root, you can challenge and replace it with affirmations of ability, confidence, and self-worth. Unrealistic expectations often create negativity as well. Expecting perfect results, flawless behavior, or constant approval from others sets you up for disappointment. Identifying these expectations allows you to adjust them realistically, reducing negative self-talk and frustration. Visualization can help uncover root causes. Close your eyes and imagine a scenario that triggers negative thoughts. Observe the emotions that arise and ask yourself, "Why do I feel this way?" What memory, fear, or belief is influencing this thought? Visualizing the source creates clarity and awareness, making it easier to address the cause rather than just the symptom. Affirmations reinforce understanding and control. Statements like, "I understand the roots of my thoughts," "I am aware of my fears and beliefs," or "I can change how I think," train your subconscious to recognize patterns and allow you to intervene consciously. Regular repetition strengthens this awareness. Mindfulness strengthens the process. By observing thoughts without judgment, you create space between stimulus and reaction. This space allows you to notice not only the thought, but also the underlying belief or fear causing it. Mindfulness helps you respond intelligently rather than being swept away by automatic negativity. Journaling is a powerful tool for uncovering root causes. Write down recurring negative thoughts, reflect on when they appear, and explore their origin. Ask yourself, is this thought based on fact or fear? Is it a memory influencing the present? Journaling builds insight, awareness, and emotional control. Physical awareness also aids understanding. Notice how your body reacts when negative thoughts arise: tight muscles, rapid heartbeat, or shallow breathing. Physical responses often reveal stress linked to root causes. By consciously relaxing your body, you create the conditions for mental clarity and insight. Self-compassion is critical throughout this process. Recognize that everyone has negative thoughts, and that uncovering root causes may reveal uncomfortable truths. Treat yourself kindly, understanding that this awareness is a step toward freedom rather than blame. By identifying the root causes of negative thoughts, you gain the power to interrupt them at the source. Awareness of past experiences, fear, self-doubt, unrealistic expectations, and internalized beliefs allows you to replace negativity with constructive, empowering thinking. This chapter sets the foundation for practical techniques that will come next. Understanding why negative thoughts arise gives you control, allowing you to move beyond reaction and toward proactive mental management. With clarity about the root causes, you are ready to start replacing negative patterns with positive, lasting habits that lead to mental freedom. Chapter 3: Interrupting Negative Thought Patterns. Once you understand what negative thoughts are and why they arise, the next step is learning how to interrupt them. Negative thinking often becomes automatic, running in loops without conscious control. Interrupting these patterns gives you the power to regain control of your mind before negativity escalates. Most people try to ignore negative thoughts, hoping they will disappear. Unfortunately, this rarely works. Ignored thoughts often grow stronger, fueled by avoidance and fear. Instead of suppressing negativity, learn to catch it early and intervene deliberately. Start by noticing the first signs of negative thinking. This could be a sudden feeling of worry, a critical thought about yourself, or imagining worst-case scenarios. Awareness is the trigger for action. The moment you recognize a negative thought entering your mind, you can pause and apply techniques to interrupt it. A simple method is to label the thought. Say silently, "This is a negative thought," or "This is just my mind worrying." Naming it separates you from the thought, creating space between stimulus and reaction. By labeling, you recognize that you are not the thought. It is simply passing through your mind. Visualization helps break patterns. Picture the negative thought as a dark cloud or a small bubble floating into your mind. Imagine it dissipating, popping, or drifting away. Visual rehearsal strengthens your ability to observe negativity and release it without engaging emotionally. Another technique is mental redirection. Once you notice a negative thought, consciously shift your attention to something neutral or positive. This could be focusing on your breathing, a pleasant memory, or a constructive action you can take. Redirection interrupts the automatic loop, replacing negativity with calm focus. Affirmations reinforce interruption. Use short, empowering statements like "I release negative thoughts," "I control my mind," or "I choose calm and clarity." Repeating these phrases strengthens your subconscious and makes interrupting negativity more natural over time. Physical techniques enhance effectiveness. When negativity rises, take a deep breath. Relax your muscles or shift your posture. Physical tension often feeds negative thinking. By calming your body, you make it easier for your mind to follow and stay focused on constructive thoughts. Journaling supports pattern interruption. Write down the negative thoughts you notice each day. Describe what triggered them and reflect on how you redirected your mind. Recording these experiences increases self-awareness and reinforces your ability to intervene effectively. Mindfulness remains a critical tool. Observe thoughts without judgment and allow them to pass rather than clinging to them. Mindfulness creates a pause, giving you the power to choose whether to engage with the thought or let it go. This awareness is the foundation of interrupting negative patterns. Consistency is key. The more frequently you practice recognizing, labeling, redirecting, and releasing negative thoughts, the stronger your ability to control your mind becomes. Over time, automatic negative loops weaken, and positive constructive thinking becomes habitual. Self-compassion strengthens the process. Avoid criticizing yourself for having negative thoughts or for struggling to interrupt them at first. Each attempt is practice, and with patience, the skill grows. Treat yourself kindly, acknowledge your effort, and continue consistently. By learning to interrupt negative thought patterns, you reclaim control over your mind and emotions. This chapter equips you with techniques, awareness, labeling, visualization, redirection, affirmations, physical relaxation, journaling, and mindfulness that create immediate and lasting impact on your mental state. Interrupting negativity is a skill that protects your focus, reduces stress, and prevents negative thoughts from shaping your behavior or mood. Mastering this step prepares you to replace these thoughts with constructive thinking, creating mental clarity and peace that lasts. Chapter 4. Replacing negativity with positive thinking. Interrupting negative thoughts is important, but the next step is to replace them with positive thinking. Simply stopping negativity leaves your mind empty, which may allow old habits to return. Replacing negative thoughts with constructive, empowering ones strengthens your mental patterns and builds lasting resilience. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring problems or pretending life is perfect. It means choosing thoughts that serve you, focus on solutions, and reinforce confidence and calm. By consciously redirecting your mind, you regain control over your emotions and actions. Begin by identifying areas where negative thoughts frequently arise. Are they about work, relationships, personal abilities, or future worries? Once you know the situations, you can prepare positive responses in advance. Anticipation strengthens your ability to redirect negativity immediately. Visualization is a powerful technique for replacing negativity. Imagine a negative thought entering your mind and picture it being replaced with a positive image or idea. For example, if you think, "I can't handle this task," visualize yourself completing it successfully and feeling confident. Mental rehearsal reinforces positive thought patterns. Affirmations are essential. Short, clear statements like "I am capable and strong," "I choose constructive thinking," or "I focus on solutions, not problems," signal your subconscious to adopt a positive mindset. Repeating these affirmations daily strengthens mental habits and makes positivity automatic over time. Gratitude supports replacement of negativity. When negative thoughts appear, shift your attention to what you appreciate in your life. Even small things, a supportive friend, a productive day, or a simple pleasure, redirect focus and create mental space for constructive thoughts. Gratitude reduces the power of negativity by highlighting what is good and real. Mindfulness reinforces this process. Observe the negative thought, acknowledge it without judgment, and consciously replace it with a positive alternative. Mindfulness creates awareness and control, preventing automatic engagement with negativity while allowing deliberate choice of empowering thoughts. Physical practices enhance positive thinking. Tension, shallow breathing, and poor posture feed negative thought patterns. By relaxing your body, taking deep breaths, and maintaining grounded posture, you create a supportive environment for positive, calm, and constructive thinking. Journaling strengthens replacement habits. Write down negative thoughts you notice and immediately follow with positive alternatives or constructive reflections. Reflect on what triggers the negativity and how you successfully shifted your thinking. Journaling builds awareness, reinforces practice, and tracks progress over time. Consistency is key. The more you practice replacing negative thoughts with positive alternatives, the more your mind naturally defaults to constructive thinking. Over time, positivity becomes your mental baseline, and negativity loses its automatic power over your emotions. Self-compassion enhances this process. Recognize that shifting thought patterns takes time, and occasional setbacks are normal. Treat yourself kindly, acknowledge effort, and gently guide your mind back toward positive thinking whenever negativity arises. Replacing negativity with positive thinking empowers you to reclaim control over your mind through visualization, affirmations, gratitude, mindfulness, physical relaxation, journaling, and self-compassion. You transform automatic negative patterns into constructive, life-enhancing thought habits. This chapter provides the foundation for building a mind where negative thoughts no longer dominate. By practicing these techniques consistently, you create clarity, confidence, and calm, enabling you to respond to challenges with composure and focus. Chapter 5. Practicing mindfulness to stay present. One of the most powerful tools to stop negative thoughts is mindfulness. Negative thinking often thrives when your mind drifts into the past or worries about the future. By staying present, you prevent your mind from fueling unnecessary stress, doubt, or self-criticism. Mindfulness is the practice of observing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment, and it creates space to choose your responses rather than reacting automatically. Many people underestimate how much their mind wanders. A small worry about work can spiral into imagining failure, criticism, or rejection. Past mistakes can replay endlessly, causing guilt or regret. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle by bringing your attention to the present moment where you have actual control. Start with simple breathing exercises. Focus on your breath as it flows in and out. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the sensation of air passing through your nose, or the rhythm of your lungs. Whenever your mind drifts to negative thoughts, gently bring it back to your breath. This repeated practice strengthens attention and builds awareness of thought patterns. Observe thoughts without judgment. Instead of labeling a thought as bad or wrong, simply notice it and let it pass. For example, if a thought like "I am not good enough" arises, acknowledge it and then release it. Mindfulness helps you separate yourself from your thoughts, making them easier to manage and redirect. Visualization can enhance mindfulness. Picture yourself sitting by a calm river. Negative thoughts arrive like leaves floating on the water. Observe them, but do not pick them up. Let them drift away. This imagery helps reinforce the practice of noticing negativity without engaging with it. Affirmations complement mindfulness. Short statements like "I am present," "I observe my thoughts without judgment," or "I choose calm and clarity" reinforce awareness and strengthen your mental focus. Repetition ensures that your subconscious supports a mindful approach to thinking. Mindfulness also involves physical awareness. Notice tension in your muscles, your posture, or heart rate when negative thoughts arise. Consciously relaxing your body reduces the intensity of negativity and prepares your mind to stay focused on the present. Physical calmness and mental awareness work together to prevent reactive thinking. Daily routines support mindfulness. Even a few minutes of quiet observation, walking with focus, or mindful listening can build the skill. The more often you practice, the easier it becomes to remain present, even during stressful situations or when negativity tries to creep in. Journaling enhances mindfulness. Record thoughts and feelings you observe during the day without judgment. Reflect on triggers, patterns, and moments when you successfully stayed present. Journaling strengthens awareness, reinforces learning, and provides insight for future practice. Consistency is essential. Mindfulness may feel challenging at first, especially when negative thoughts are frequent. But each time you pause, observe, and return to the present moment, you strengthen your mind's ability to remain calm and focused. Over time, mindfulness becomes natural, and negative thoughts lose their grip. Self-compassion supports mindfulness. Recognize that it is normal for your mind to wander and for negative thoughts to appear. Gently return to observing your breath or surroundings without criticism. Compassion ensures that mindfulness practice is sustainable and encourages long-term change. By practicing mindfulness, you gain the ability to stay grounded in the present, reducing the power of negative thoughts. Observing your mind, focusing on breath, using visualization and affirmations, maintaining physical relaxation, journaling, and showing self-compassion all contribute to a stable, clear, and peaceful mindset. Mindfulness is not just a technique, it is a way of living. By cultivating presence, you stop negative thoughts from dominating your mind, respond to challenges with calm, and create a foundation for lasting mental freedom and resilience. Chapter 6: Challenging Negative Beliefs. Stopping negative thoughts requires more than awareness and interruption. Many thoughts continue to appear because they are rooted in deeply held beliefs. These beliefs, often formed over years of experiences, influence the way you perceive yourself and the world. Challenging and changing these negative beliefs is essential for lasting mental freedom. Negative beliefs often take the form of statements like "I'm not good enough," "I will fail," or "nothing ever works out for me." While these may feel true, they are not facts. They are interpretations shaped by past experiences, fear, or repeated thinking. Beliefs shape thoughts, and thoughts shape emotions and actions. Changing the root belief changes the entire chain. Start by identifying recurring negative beliefs. Pay attention to patterns in your thinking. Ask yourself, what underlying story is my mind telling me? Is it based on evidence, or is it an assumption or fear? Awareness of these beliefs is the first step toward challenging them. Next, question their validity. Look for evidence that disproves the negative belief. For example, if you believe "I always fail," recall times when you succeeded. Often your mind focuses on failures while ignoring successes. By reviewing the evidence objectively, you weaken the belief's power. Visualization helps reinforce this process. Imagine the negative belief as a heavy weight or a dark cloud. Then picture yourself removing it or replacing it with a constructive, empowering belief. For instance, replace "I'm not capable" with "I am learning and growing every day." Repeated visualization trains the mind to adopt new positive beliefs. Affirmations are also effective. Statements like "I am capable," "I am deserving of success," or "I can handle challenges" calmly reinforce new beliefs and replace old, limiting ones. Repetition strengthens the subconscious, making positive thinking more automatic. Mindfulness supports challenging negative beliefs. When a negative thought arises, pause and ask, is this thought true? Is it based on evidence, or is it an assumption or fear? By observing without judgment, you create the mental space to question and replace limiting beliefs with empowering alternatives. Journaling strengthens this practice. Write down negative beliefs as they appear and record evidence for and against them. Reflect on how these beliefs have influenced your thoughts and actions. Then rewrite the belief in a positive, constructive form. Journaling reinforces understanding and builds lasting mental change. Physical awareness helps too. Negative beliefs often produce tension in the body. Notice tight muscles, shallow breathing, or discomfort when such thoughts arise. Relaxation techniques reduce stress, enabling clearer thinking and easier belief change. Consistency is key. Challenging negative beliefs takes repeated practice. Every time you notice a limiting thought, question it and replace it with an empowering one. Your mind becomes stronger. Over time, old beliefs lose influence and new positive patterns take their place. Self-compassion supports the process. Negative beliefs are not your fault. They often developed as coping mechanisms. Treat yourself kindly while challenging them, recognizing that change takes patience and consistent effort. By challenging negative beliefs, you gain control over the foundation of your thinking. Awareness, questioning, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, journaling, and physical relaxation all contribute to breaking old patterns and creating empowering mental habits. This chapter empowers you to transform the way you see yourself and the world, replacing limiting thoughts with constructive, positive beliefs. When your mind believes in your strength and potential, negative thoughts naturally lose their power, allowing you to live with clarity, confidence, and peace. Chapter 7. Creating positive mental habits. Stopping negative thoughts permanently requires more than temporary techniques. It requires creating lasting positive mental habits. Habits shape the way you think, feel, and respond to life. By cultivating constructive habits, you train your mind to focus on solutions, optimism, and calm, reducing the power of negativity. Most people allow negative thinking to become automatic because it has been reinforced over years. Every time you focus on worry, fear, or self-criticism, neural pathways strengthen, making these thought patterns easy to access. Positive mental habits work the same way. Repeated focus on constructive thinking strengthens new pathways, making optimism and calmness the default. Start with small daily practices. Simple exercises, such as morning affirmations, gratitude reflection, or focused breathing, can gradually build a positive mindset. These routines may seem minor, but consistent practice rewires the brain over time. Visualization supports habit formation. Imagine yourself responding to challenges with calm and constructive thoughts. Picture your mind automatically noticing negativity and redirecting it toward positivity. Mental rehearsal makes these habits more natural in real situations. Affirmations reinforce positive thinking habits. Statements like "I focus on what I can control," "I choose constructive thoughts," or "My mind is calm and clear" send repeated signals to your subconscious, embedding constructive thinking into daily life. Repetition is essential for lasting change. Gratitude strengthens positive habits. Regularly acknowledging what is going well in your life shifts focus away from negativity. Even small moments of appreciation, like a friendly conversation, a productive day, or a personal achievement, reinforce constructive thought patterns and reduce automatic negative thinking. Mindfulness is crucial for habit development. Observing thoughts without judgment allows you to notice negativity before it escalates. By consistently practicing awareness, you create the mental habit of catching thoughts early and choosing constructive responses. Mindfulness turns conscious effort into automatic habit over time. Physical practices complement mental habits. Regular exercise, deep breathing, and mindful relaxation enhance mental clarity and emotional balance. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, making it easier to sustain positive mental patterns throughout the day. Journaling reinforces habit formation. Record positive thoughts, successes in redirecting negativity, and daily reflections. Journaling strengthens awareness, provides evidence of progress, and reinforces constructive patterns, making positivity a lasting habit rather than a temporary fix. Consistency is the key. Habits take time to solidify. Every day you notice negative thoughts, redirect them, practice mindfulness, affirm positive beliefs, and focus on gratitude. Your mind strengthens new pathways. Eventually, positive mental habits replace old negative loops as the default mode of thinking. Self-compassion supports habit formation. Developing positive mental habits requires patience. You may occasionally revert to old patterns, but treating yourself kindly encourages persistence. Every effort contributes to long-term change. By creating positive mental habits, you shift the foundation of your thinking from reactive negativity to constructive empowerment. Awareness, visualization, affirmations, gratitude, mindfulness, physical practice, journaling, and self-compassion work together to transform your thought patterns. These habits prepare your mind for resilience, calm, and clarity. When negative thoughts appear, they are recognized, addressed, and replaced quickly, preventing them from dominating your emotions or decisions. Over time, your mind naturally defaults to positivity, allowing you to navigate life with mental freedom and peace. Chapter 8. Surrounding yourself with positivity. Stopping negative thoughts is not only about managing your mind internally, it is also influenced by your environment. The people, information, and situations you surround yourself with shape your thinking habits. By intentionally creating a positive environment, you reinforce constructive thinking and reduce the chances of negativity taking hold. Many people underestimate the impact of their surroundings. Constant exposure to negativity, criticism, or toxic relationships can fuel negative thought patterns. On the other hand, supportive people, uplifting content, and constructive environments promote optimism, calm, and clarity. Understanding this influence helps you take control over both your internal and external world. Begin by assessing your social circle. Consider the friends, family, and colleagues you interact with regularly. Do they encourage growth and positivity, or do they dwell on problems and negativity? While you cannot control everyone, choosing to spend more time with supportive and inspiring individuals strengthens positive mental habits. Limit exposure to negative media. Constant consumption of fear-based news, social media conflicts, or critical commentary can feed negative thinking. Curate your environment by engaging with content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Balance is key. You stay aware of the world while protecting your mind from unnecessary negativity. Physical space also matters. A cluttered, chaotic environment can mirror and intensify mental clutter and negative thoughts. Organize your surroundings, create a clean and comfortable space, and add elements that promote calmness, plants, natural light, or soothing colors. A supportive environment enhances mental clarity and reduces stress. Visualization reinforces positivity in your surroundings. Imagine entering a space filled with encouragement, calm, and uplifting energy. Picture yourself surrounded by supportive people and environments that reinforce constructive thinking. Mental rehearsal strengthens your awareness and makes it easier to cultivate positivity in real life. Affirmations also play a role. Remind yourself, I choose to be around positivity. I am influenced by supportive environments, or I create a space for constructive thoughts. Repetition signals your subconscious to seek and reinforce uplifting surroundings. Mindfulness helps you notice how your environment affects your thoughts. Pay attention to moments when certain interactions or situations trigger negative thinking. Awareness allows you to respond consciously, either by shifting your focus, leaving the situation, or reinforcing mental boundaries to protect your calm. Physical practices enhance your ability to stay grounded amid external influences. Regular exercise, deep breathing, or mindful movement strengthens resilience, making it easier to maintain constructive thinking even in challenging or negative environments. Journaling is valuable for reflecting on environmental influences. Record moments when external factors affected your thoughts, positively or negatively. Analyze patterns, note triggers, and identify strategies to maximize exposure to uplifting influences while minimizing negativity. Consistency is critical. Surrounding yourself with positivity is an ongoing effort. By consciously choosing supportive people, environments, and media, you reinforce constructive thinking patterns and reduce the frequency and intensity of negative thoughts. Self-compassion remains essential. You may not control every environment or relationship, and that is okay. Focus on what you can influence, make gradual changes, and treat yourself kindly when external negativity challenges your progress. By surrounding yourself with positivity, you create an external support system for the internal mental practices you've developed. Combining a positive environment with awareness, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, physical practices, and journaling strengthens mental resilience, calm, and clarity. Ultimately, positivity in your surroundings reinforces positivity in your mind. When you align your external environment with your mental goals, negative thoughts have fewer opportunities to take hold, and your journey toward lasting mental freedom becomes smoother, easier, and more sustainable. Chapter 9. Managing stress to reduce negative thoughts. Negative thoughts often appear more frequently when stress levels are high. Stress magnifies worries, amplifies doubts, and can make small problems feel overwhelming. Learning how to manage stress effectively is crucial for stopping negative thinking and maintaining mental clarity. Stress is a natural part of life, but it becomes harmful when it overwhelms your mind and prevents clear thinking. Chronic stress not only increases negative thoughts, but also affects your physical health, sleep, and overall well-being. Managing stress allows you to reduce the intensity and frequency of negative thinking. Start by identifying your stressors. These may include work pressures, personal challenges, relationships, or health concerns. Understanding what triggers stress helps you anticipate it and develop strategies to stay calm and focused. Awareness is the first step toward managing stress effectively. Breathing exercises are a simple and powerful tool. When you notice stress rising, take slow, deep breaths. Focus on inhaling deeply through your nose, holding briefly, and exhaling slowly. This activates your body's relaxation response, calming both your mind and nervous system, and reducing the fuel for negative thoughts. Physical activity helps manage stress and supports mental clarity. Exercise releases endorphins, which naturally improve mood and reduce anxiety. Regular movement, walking, jogging, stretching, or yoga, strengthens your mind's resilience against negative thinking. Mindfulness and meditation are also effective. By focusing on the present moment and observing thoughts without judgment, you prevent stress from spiraling into worry or self-criticism. Mindfulness creates a mental buffer, allowing you to respond intentionally rather than react automatically. Visualization techniques can reduce stress and interrupt negativity. Imagine a stressful situation as a challenge you can handle calmly. Visualize yourself responding with composure, taking effective action, and remaining centered. This mental rehearsal prepares you to face real-life stress with clarity and control. Journaling can help process stress and identify patterns in negative thinking. Write down stressful events, your reactions, and how negative thoughts appeared. Reflect on how you could respond differently in the future. Journaling builds self-awareness, reinforces constructive thinking, and reduces mental clutter. Time management and planning also reduce stress. When you feel overwhelmed, break tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Prioritize what matters most and focus on completing one task at a time. Structured approaches prevent the mind from becoming overloaded and reduce negative spirals. Self-compassion supports stress management. Recognize that experiencing stress is normal. Avoid self-criticism for feeling overwhelmed. Treat yourself kindly while applying strategies to regain calm. Compassion reduces additional mental burden and supports positive thinking. Consistency is essential. Managing stress requires daily attention, practice, and refinement. Each time you apply techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, visualization, journaling, physical activity, and structured planning, you strengthen your ability to maintain calm and prevent negative thoughts from dominating your mind. By managing stress effectively, you create a strong foundation for stopping negative thoughts. Stress reduction enhances clarity, calm, and emotional stability, making it easier to notice, interrupt, and replace negativity with constructive thinking. This chapter equips you with tools to prevent stress from fueling negative thoughts. Awareness, deep breathing, physical activity, mindfulness, visualization, journaling, structured planning, and self-compassion work together to create a mind that is calm, focused, and resilient. When stress is under control, your mind becomes a space where negativity struggles to take hold. You gain the ability to respond with composure, think clearly, and maintain a positive, constructive mindset, even during challenging situations. Chapter 10. Practicing self-compassion to stop negative thoughts. One of the most overlooked tools for stopping negative thoughts is self-compassion. Many people fight negativity with criticism, harsh self-judgment, or frustration, which often backfires and strengthens negative thinking. Practicing self-compassion creates a supportive inner environment, making it easier to manage, interrupt, and replace negativity. Self-compassion begins with understanding that negative thoughts are normal. Everyone experiences them. Having a thought like "I'm not good enough" or "I can't do this" does not make you weak, it makes you human. Recognizing this removes the shame that often fuels further negativity. Start by observing your thoughts without judgment. When a negative thought appears, notice it and say to yourself, "This is a thought, not a fact, and it does not define me." This simple acknowledgement prevents you from identifying completely with negativity, giving your mind space to respond constructively. Affirmations enhance self-compassion. Statements like "I treat myself with kindness," "I am learning and growing every day," or "I deserve understanding and patience," reinforce a supportive inner dialogue. Repeating these phrases strengthens your subconscious, helping you replace criticism with encouragement. Visualization strengthens the practice. Picture a younger version of yourself facing a challenge or experiencing failure. Imagine offering them warmth, encouragement, and reassurance. This exercise builds empathy toward yourself and trains your mind to respond with understanding rather than judgment when negative thoughts arise. Mindfulness supports self-compassion. Observe your thoughts and emotions without labeling them as good or bad. Notice how negativity affects your feelings and body, and gently guide your mind toward acceptance and calm. Mindfulness allows you to respond intentionally rather than reacting impulsively with criticism. Physical awareness enhances self-compassion. Negative thoughts often create tension, rapid heartbeat, or shallow breathing. Consciously relaxing your body reduces stress, calms your nervous system, and supports a compassionate response toward yourself. Physical relaxation reinforces mental balance and prevents escalation of negative thinking. Journaling is a valuable tool. Write down negative thoughts, explore the emotions behind them, and respond with supportive statements. For example, if a thought says, "I always fail," write a compassionate counterstatement such as, "I am learning, and every effort is progress." Journaling strengthens the habit of self-compassion and provides lasting evidence of growth. Consistency is key. Self-compassion, like any skill, develops over time. Daily practice, observing thoughts, applying affirmations, using visualization, engaging in mindfulness, relaxing your body, and journaling reinforces a supportive mindset that naturally counters negativity. Self-compassion reduces the intensity of negative thoughts. When your mind feels supported and understood rather than judged and criticized, negative thinking loses its power. You gain the ability to respond calmly, redirect thoughts, and maintain emotional stability. By practicing self-compassion, you build a foundation for lasting mental freedom. Awareness, affirmations, visualization, mindfulness, physical relaxation, journaling, and consistent effort create an inner environment where negativity cannot dominate. This chapter emphasizes that being kind to yourself is not indulgence. It is essential for controlling your thoughts. Self-compassion strengthens resilience, encourages positive mental habits, and allows you to stop negative thinking while fostering a calm, focused, and empowered mind. Chapter 11. Using visualization to transform your mind. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools to stop negative thoughts. The mind cannot always distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. So by imagining positive outcomes, you can train your brain to focus on constructive, empowering thoughts instead of negativity. Visualization allows you to reshape mental patterns and create a mindset that naturally leans toward optimism, confidence, and calm. Start by choosing a scenario that often triggers negative thoughts. It could be a challenging task, a social interaction, or an uncertain future event. Close your eyes and picture the situation clearly in your mind, as if it is happening right now. Pay attention to details, emotions, and sensations. This focus prepares your mind for the next step, redirecting negativity. Now imagine yourself responding to the scenario with confidence, calm and clarity. See yourself handling challenges effectively, staying composed and taking constructive action. Visualize success in your responses and imagine the positive feelings associated with it. This rehearsal trains your mind to expect and create positive outcomes rather than dwell on fear or doubt. Visualization works best when combined with emotion. Feel the confidence, calm or happiness as if it is real. Engaging your emotions reinforces the new mental patterns, making them stronger and more automatic over time. Your brain begins to associate these situations with empowerment instead of stress or negativity. Affirmations enhance visualization. As you imagine positive scenarios, repeat supportive statements like "I am capable," "I remain calm under pressure," or "I respond with clarity and confidence." This repetition reinforces mental pathways and strengthens belief in your abilities. Mindfulness supports visualization. Observe the images in your mind without judgment and gently guide them toward constructive outcomes. If negative thoughts appear during visualization, acknowledge them and then consciously replace them with positive alternatives. Mindfulness ensures your mind stays focused and present while reshaping thought patterns. Journaling strengthens the effect. After visualization practice, write down the images, feelings, and successes you imagined. Reflect on how they counter negative thinking and how your mind responds to challenges differently. Journaling reinforces mental training and provides a record of progress. Physical relaxation enhances visualization. A calm body helps maintain focus and clarity during mental rehearsal. Deep breathing, relaxed posture, and minimal tension allow your mind to fully engage with positive imagery, making the practice more effective and immersive. Consistency is critical. Visualization should be practiced daily or whenever negative thoughts threaten to take over. Repeated mental rehearsal rewires the brain, making positivity and calm the default responses, even in stressful or challenging situations. Self-compassion supports visualization practice. Be patient with yourself if images or emotions do not feel perfect at first. The goal is progress, not perfection. Treat each session as a step toward building a stronger, more resilient mind. By using visualization, you gain the ability to replace negative thought patterns with constructive mental imagery. Awareness, emotion, affirmations, mindfulness, physical relaxation, journaling, and consistent practice work together to train your mind to expect positive outcomes. This chapter demonstrates that your mind can be trained like a muscle. With visualization, you actively shape your thoughts, feelings, and reactions, creating a mental environment where negative thinking struggles to take hold. Over time, visualization transforms your mindset, providing clarity, confidence, and control over your mental state. Chapter 12. Building emotional resilience. Stopping negative thoughts requires more than just noticing or replacing them. It also demands emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to stay calm, focused, and balanced, even when life challenges or negative thinking arise. Strengthening this inner strength helps you maintain control over your mind and prevents negativity from taking over. Resilient people do not avoid negative emotions or pretend challenges do not exist. Instead, they face difficulties with awareness, understanding, and deliberate responses. Emotional resilience allows you to experience thoughts and feelings without letting them dictate your actions or self-worth. Start by observing your emotional responses. Notice when negative thoughts trigger feelings of fear, frustration, or sadness. Awareness gives you the opportunity to respond intentionally rather than reacting automatically. Recognizing your emotional patterns is the first step towards strengthening resilience. Mindfulness strengthens emotional resilience. By staying present, you prevent your mind from spiraling into worries about the past or future. Observing thoughts without judgment allows you to separate emotions from identity. You learn that feelings are temporary and do not define who you are. Affirmations support resilience. Statements like "I remain calm under pressure," "I can handle challenges with strength and clarity," or I am capable of overcoming obstacles reinforce positive self-perception and build confidence in your ability to manage emotions effectively. Repeating affirmations daily strengthens your mental foundation. Visualization enhances emotional resilience. Imagine a difficult situation arising and picture yourself responding calmly with clarity and constructive action. Visualize overcoming challenges, handling stress effectively, and maintaining inner peace. Practicing this mental rehearsal makes real-life responses more automatic and composed. Physical practices also support resilience. Exercise, deep breathing, yoga, or stretching reduce stress and increase mental clarity. When your body is relaxed, your mind can remain calm and focused. Emotional resilience is stronger when both mind and body are prepared to handle stress. Journaling reinforces emotional strength. Record situations that challenged your emotions, how you responded, and what you learned. Reflect on successful moments where negativity did not control your mind. Journaling provides insight, reinforces practice, and tracks progress in building resilience. Gratitude enhances resilience. Focusing on what you appreciate in life shifts attention from problems to possibilities. Even small acknowledgements, such as support from a friend, progress in your goals, or moments of personal growth, cultivate a positive perspective that strengthens mental fortitude. Consistency matters. Emotional resilience develops over time through daily practice. Each moment you face challenges consciously, manage emotions, and redirect negative thoughts, your mind becomes stronger. Resilience becomes habitual, reducing the frequency and impact of negative thinking. Self-compassion supports emotional growth. Recognize that setbacks and emotional reactions are part of learning. Treat yourself kindly and view mistakes or temporary lapses as opportunities for improvement rather than failures. Compassion provides stability and encouragement for continued growth. By building emotional resilience, you gain the ability to face life's challenges without being overwhelmed by negativity. Awareness, mindfulness, affirmations, visualization, physical practices, journaling, gratitude, and self-compassion work together to strengthen your inner core, providing calm, clarity, and control over your mental state. This chapter emphasizes that resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, but about responding constructively and maintaining balance. With emotional resilience, negative thoughts lose their influence and your mind becomes a stable, empowering environment where constructive thinking and calm dominate. Chapter 13. Setting boundaries to protect your mind. Stopping negative thoughts permanently is not only about internal practices, it also requires protecting your mind from harmful influences. Setting boundaries is a crucial strategy to maintain mental clarity, focus, and positivity. Boundaries help prevent negativity from external sources from taking root in your thinking patterns. Many people allow external influences, critical comments, toxic relationships, or stressful environments to shape their thoughts. These influences can reinforce negative patterns and make it harder to maintain constructive thinking. Learning to set boundaries is a proactive way to preserve your mental space. Start by identifying situations, relationships, or habits that trigger negativity. This could be excessive social media use, certain conversations, or environments that create stress. Recognizing what consistently influences negative thinking allows you to plan effective boundaries. Communicate boundaries clearly, politely, but firmly express your limits with others. For example, if a friend constantly criticizes you, let them know that you prefer discussions that are supportive and solution-focused. Clear communication helps protect your mental space without creating unnecessary conflict. Limit exposure to harmful content. This includes social media, news, or entertainment that fuels worry, fear, or self-doubt. Curate what you consume intentionally, focusing on information that educates, inspires, and uplifts, rather than drains or triggers negativity. Visualization can reinforce boundary setting. Imagine a protective shield around your mind, letting in only positive and constructive thoughts while deflecting negativity. This mental imagery strengthens your ability to maintain boundaries, especially in challenging situations. Affirmations support boundary maintenance. Use statements like "I protect my mental space," "I allow only constructive influences into my mind," or "I prioritize my well-being and peace." Repetition builds mental reinforcement, making boundaries a natural part of your thinking process. Mindfulness enhances boundary effectiveness. Observe interactions and experiences in real time. When negativity arises, notice it and consciously decide how to respond, whether by redirecting your focus, leaving the situation, or reinforcing your mental limits. Mindfulness ensures boundaries are maintained without unnecessary conflict or stress. Physical practices help protect your mind. When engaging in potentially stressful situations, maintain relaxed posture, slow breathing, and grounded presence. A calm body supports a focused mind, making it easier to enforce mental boundaries and avoid absorbing negative influences. Journaling strengthens boundary setting. Record situations where negativity challenged you, how you responded, and what strategies worked. Reflect on your successes and adjust boundaries as needed. Journaling builds awareness, reinforces practice, and tracks progress in creating a protective mental environment. Consistency is essential. Boundaries must be applied daily and adjusted as situations change. Each time you protect your mental space from harmful influences, your mind becomes stronger, and negative thinking loses its power to dominate your thoughts. Self-compassion supports boundary setting. Understand that enforcing limits is not selfish. It is essential for maintaining mental health. Treat yourself kindly, recognizing that protecting your mind allows you to think clearly, act constructively, and remain calm in challenging situations. By setting boundaries, you create a mental environment where negativity has little opportunity to flourish. Awareness, communication, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, physical practices, journaling, and self-compassion work together to maintain your mind's clarity, peace, and resilience. This chapter emphasizes that protecting your mental space is an active process. Boundaries allow you to sustain constructive thinking, reduce external influences on negative thoughts, and create a stable foundation for long-term mental freedom. Chapter 14. Practicing patience for lasting change. Stopping negative thoughts is a process, not an instant fix. Many people try techniques for a few days, and when they do not see immediate results, they give up. Patience is essential for lasting mental transformation. By practicing patience, you allow your mind to slowly, consistently replace negative patterns with positive, constructive thinking. Negative thinking habits have developed over years, often decades. They are deeply ingrained in your brain's pathways, which means rewiring them takes time. Expecting immediate perfection creates frustration, which ironically can trigger more negative thoughts. Understanding that change is gradual is the first step toward developing patience. Start by setting realistic expectations. Understand that each small effort, whether interrupting a negative thought, practicing mindfulness, journaling, or visualizing, contributes to long-term improvement. Even if progress feels slow, the cumulative effect over time is powerful. Mindfulness enhances patience. By staying present, you focus on the current effort rather than rushing toward a distant result. Notice each moment of calm, every instance of positive thinking, and the small victories in controlling negativity. Awareness of progress encourages patience and reduces frustration. Affirmations can reinforce patience. Phrases like, "I am growing every day," "Change takes time and effort," or "I am patient with myself and my mind," help you stay committed to the process. Repetition strengthens the subconscious acceptance of gradual improvement. Visualization supports patience as well. Picture your mind over time, gradually becoming calmer, clearer, and free from negative thinking. Imagine long-term progress rather than instant perfection. Visual rehearsal of steady growth encourages mental endurance and resilience. Gratitude encourages patience. By focusing on improvements you have already made, no matter how small, you recognize that positive change is occurring. Appreciating small wins keeps motivation high and prevents discouragement when challenges arise. Journaling helps track gradual progress. Write down moments when you successfully managed negative thoughts, applied techniques, or maintained calm under stress. Seeing documented evidence of growth reinforces patience and commitment to continuous improvement. Physical practices support mental patience. Regular exercise, proper sleep, and healthy nutrition stabilize your energy and emotions. A balanced body contributes to a calm mind that can endure gradual change without being easily frustrated by temporary setbacks. Consistency is essential. Patience combined with daily practice ensures that positive mental patterns gradually replace negative thinking. Each repetition strengthens constructive pathways, making resilience, clarity, and calmness more automatic over time. Self-compassion reinforces patience. Accept that occasional setbacks, intrusive thoughts, or lapses are part of the learning process. Treat yourself kindly, encourage persistence, and view challenges as opportunities to deepen understanding and reinforce techniques. By practicing patience, you support every other strategy for stopping negative thoughts. Awareness, mindfulness, affirmations, visualization, gratitude, journaling, physical practices, and self-compassion are all more effective when applied consistently over time with patience. This chapter emphasizes that mental transformation is a journey. Patience allows you to navigate setbacks, maintain motivation, and steadily replace negativity with constructive thinking. With persistent effort and patience, lasting change becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Chapter 15. Integrating Techniques for a Negative-Free Mind. The journey to stop negative thoughts permanently is most effective when all strategies are integrated into daily life. Awareness, mindfulness, self-compassion, visualization, emotional resilience, boundaries, stress management, positive habits, and patience work best when combined. Chapter 15 focuses on bringing all these techniques together, creating a holistic approach for lasting mental freedom. Start by reflecting on all the strategies you have practiced so far. Notice which techniques worked best for you, which were easier to implement, and which required more effort. Awareness of your personal responses allows you to tailor an integrated plan that suits your life and personality. Create a daily routine that incorporates multiple techniques. For example, start your day with mindfulness and affirmations. Take a moment for visualization midday. Practice physical relaxation and journaling in the evening, and reflect with gratitude before bed. A structured routine ensures consistent reinforcement of positive mental patterns. Combine mindfulness with self-compassion. While observing thoughts, respond to negativity with understanding rather than judgment. Mindfulness allows you to notice negative thoughts early, and self-compassion ensures you treat yourself kindly, preventing escalation and reinforcing constructive thinking. Visualization complements habit building. Imagine yourself encountering challenges throughout the day and responding calmly, constructively, and positively. Picture your mind intercepting negative thoughts and replacing them with empowering alternatives. Visualization strengthens mental pathways, making resilience and clarity more automatic. Boundaries and environmental control support integration. Surround yourself with positivity, limit exposure to negative influences, and reinforce protective mental space. Combining internal practices with external adjustments maximizes the impact of all strategies and creates a supportive ecosystem for your mind. Journaling remains central. Document experiences, successes, challenges, and lessons learned. Writing reinforces awareness, tracks progress, and provides tangible evidence that techniques are working. Journaling also helps identify patterns that need further adjustment. Affirmations and gratitude amplify integration. Use affirmations to reinforce new mental patterns and gratitude to focus on progress. Both practices keep your mind aligned with constructive thinking and provide motivation for continued effort. Physical well-being enhances mental integration. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep support cognitive function, emotional regulation, and stress management. A healthy body creates a stable foundation for consistent mental practices, making integration more effective and sustainable. Patience is crucial throughout the integration process. Results may not appear instantly, but persistent, consistent practice gradually rewires your mind. Each day, you combine techniques, you strengthen mental resilience, reduce negative thoughts, and cultivate clarity, calm, and focus. Self-compassion ties all strategies together. Treat yourself kindly throughout the process, accept setbacks as part of learning, and celebrate small victories. Compassion ensures persistence and prevents frustration, keeping your mind open to positive change. By integrating all techniques, you create a comprehensive system to manage, interrupt, and replace negative thoughts. Awareness, mindfulness, self-compassion, visualization, emotional resilience, boundaries, stress management, habit formation, gratitude, journaling, physical practices, and patience work synergistically, providing a robust framework for a negative-free mind. This chapter emphasizes that lasting mental transformation is not the result of a single technique, but the consistent application of multiple strategies. When all practices are integrated, negative thoughts lose their power, and your mind becomes a space of calm, focus, and constructive thinking. The ultimate goal is to live with mental clarity, emotional balance, and empowerment. By committing to integration, you not only stop negative thoughts, but also develop a mindset that naturally attracts positivity, resilience, and growth. With this holistic approach, your mind becomes a fortress against negativity, and your journey toward lasting mental freedom is complete.